Good afternoon and welcome to the latest issue of Print21, the weekly video news bulletin for the Australia and New Zealand print industries. This issue is sponsored by Ball & Doggett, Australia's largest supplier of printable materials and of press room consumables. Today Print21 is on the rooftop in the sky because it's the windiest place in the city, and the country's biggest print group IVE is planning on switching to 100% renewable energy, primarily wind, beginning next January, 1st of January. IVE has signed a heads of agreement with partnership with the renewable energy giant Iberdrola. It will see a 7-year agreement commence on New Year's Day, and from that date IVE's electricity will be fully provided by Iberdrola. It claims to be the world's largest producer of wind power by volume. The power purchasing agreement follows an unprecedented increase in the cost of both electricity and gas, which IVE and all printers are facing. IVE's 2022 calendar year pre-tax energy cost was around 9.4 million, 7.8 million of that on electricity and the remainder for gas. This year's results guidance just out allowed for a $1.25 million increase in electricity costs for the second half. However, prices are surging so much faster than originally anticipated. The original second half allowance is insufficient, and the guidance has now been raised to allow an additional $3.3 million in costs, bringing the total energy cost for the full year for IVE up to 13.4 million. 9.4 million last year, 13.4 million this year. 9.5 million of that is for electricity, the remaining 3.9 million for gas, used in the company's numerous web offset press ovens. Jeff Selig, executive chair of IVE, said having our electricity generated by wind is exciting and necessary. We're a heavy user of power. We're now looking to Manroland to develop an alternative to gas ovens, Manroland being its web press provider. Selig said we aim to be 100% renewable. It's great leadership by IVE. Powering its fleet of energy-hungry web offset presses by wind is a tremendous move for them and for the industry as a whole. IVE saw its half-year revenue surge by almost a third to top the $500 million mark for the first time. That's in the 6 months to December. Revenue reached $502.8 million. That's up by 31.4% from $382 million last year. The revenue surge was thanks to 9% organic growth, as well as contributions from what were AFI and Active Display Group, both now part of IVE branded activations. And Ovato, with the acquisition completing on 13th of September, all major Ovato clients, many of whom actually were already IVE clients anyway, have transitioned over to IVE successfully. None have been lost, according to the company. They're all stayed with them, which is a great news, of course. EBITDA was up by 17.7% to 65 million. Net profit after tax up by 16.5% to 24.3 million. Ovato's estimated first half contribution, which was just 3.5 months, was 60.7 million to revenue, 4.4 million to EBITDA, 1.6 million to net profit after tax. Full year guidance has underlying EBITDA of around $120 million for IVE, with underlying net profit after tax around $41 million. In other news, CPX Logistics in Brisbane is also going strong. It's now producing 50,000 bucks a month thanks to its new Horizon PUR perfect binder and inline 3-knife trimmer, supplied by Curry Group. Following a major re-equipping of the company just a year ago, the company has now installed a new Horizon HT1000V 3-way trimmer, running it in line with its new Horizon BQ500 perfect binder. It's also put in a new Horizon AFV 566F KT folder. All the equipment is supplied and serviced by Curry Group. James Bennett, owner of CPX, said, "We're producing bookshop quality jobs. There's no difference between what we're manufacturing now on the Horizon and those that come off a $2 million binder. There's effectively no job we cannot do." And he said, "You've got to see it to believe it." The country's biggest printable materials supplier, Ball & Doggett, sponsor of this video, and the biggest sign franchise in the country, Signarama, have signed a partnership agreement. Signarama has 100 stores located all around the country. The deal that will see those stores supplied with the full range of Ball & Doggett media. Signarama will be able to offer its customers now a one-stop shop for all their printing and all their signage needs. And that will include, of course, printing on paper, vinyl and fabric, as well as signage and displays for a variety of applications. It's not all work in the print industry. The Queensland printers came together on Friday for a charity fundraising luncheon to support Small Steps for Hannah. That, as a charity, aims to halt the cycle of domestic violence. The event was supported by PVCA, LIA and Women in Print. The print industry lunch featured 2 AFL legends as guest speakers. That's Emma Zielke and Jason Ackermanis. It also featured keynote speeches from Women in Print's Morag Pugh, from PVCA CEO Kelly Northwood and LIA Queensland President Mel Ireland. That's it for this week's issue of Play Print21, the industry's video news bulletin. Go to print21.com.au for full details on all these stories and more. For now, this is Wayne Robinson with thanks to our sponsor Ball & Doggett, signing off for another week.